everybody. We're live.
Hey, it's Jess, the Sky Kid. It's Thursday night. We're at the B&B. I have a knight of the round table with me.
Give points.
And on the phone with us this evening is Dan. Do you say Asio? Is that how you say your last name?
No, it's Asio.
Asio. All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Dan, to our show.
That sounds pretty cool.
So,
huh? I was saying, Asio actually kind of sounds pretty cool, too. I could just switch it to that. If I have a different persona.
I mean, it's just...
Asio sounds like... Dan Asio, that sounds more like pop, if I wanted to go, JT style.
Oh, yeah. See?
Asio, whoa!
Oh, look at you. See, you heard it here first.
All right. The next album, after my first full-length album, I'm going to go full-blown electro pop. Dan Asio. But anyways, yeah, it's Asio. I got it from a genus of owl, because it's not my real name. Anyways, I'm talking too much.
No, that's the whole point is to talk this evening. So, tell us, brief introduction. We met you because you are also a host on the Underbelly Hours. For anybody who's tuning in and watching, Dan interviewed us, a month ago, and now he's on our show. And so it's like a returned favor. We just have a show. He's actually a musician. So Dan, tell us, how long have you been doing the music thing? And have you always been just a singer-songwriter? Or is this all brand new? Give us a little bit of your history, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started as a wee lad in 2013. Right after high school, a buddy of mine was like, hey, we should do a band thing. And I'm like, okay. But it didn't really work out the first time. We tried one in high school, and it kind of ended ugly. But for some reason, we were just stubborn enough to try it again. And that became this heavy funk rock band called Tonic Freight Train. And that was a really cool thing. That was my first foray into songwriting and, writing melodies, being a performer in the music sense, because I was in theater before in high school and stuff like that. But it was the first, original music type foray. And that went strong, up until the beginning of this year, really, through lineup changes and just kind of different directions and sound. But I was always writing on my own, just stuff that I knew would never fit with basically a band that was like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's kind of what we were. But, yeah, I always had these songs that just was like, that's one fit. But I never had the time or the motivation to just kind of get them out there or do this thing on my own, because I always put all my energy into this band. And then stuff went down with the band. That kind of is on a hiatus right now. And then COVID hit, and I was like, well, I got all this time and all this pent-up energy. Should probably do this thing, get these songs out there. So music, quite a while. It's always been a part of my life. And then, but yeah, this singer-songwriter thing is very new, very recent, as far as taking it seriously and getting the stuff out there.
So, go on. Sorry.
I was just going to say, for timeline, I think I launched the pages, in April, the online presence and everything.
Wow.
So, pretty fresh.
Yeah. And that... Okay, so this is a question. Almost all of the singer-songwriters that we have had on the show have chosen to stick with their name and not come up with, a moniker. So... Is it just easier to have your name? Had you thought of coming up with a different name, or you're just tried and true, this is who I am?
Yeah, so I always played around with having a stage name, even when I like in elementary school, I was like, I'm going to become an actor. But even then, I was already getting made fun of my real name. Getting made fun for my real name. So I was like, that's probably not going to work out in movie posters and stuff. So, yeah, I always knew I was going to want to kind of get a stage name. It's also just help with like a stage persona. Yeah, because my real name is Jake. Not the most marketable name.
I mean...
But great for Jake.
But you could have paradigm shift, make it a positive. Right?
I could.
You could.
Yeah. But I think I just wanted to... Because it's something that I, like, I have encounters with it just all the time in my life. Just, I'm going to a bar and they say, what tab are you under? And like, there's a lot of Dan's here. I'm like, this is my last name. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yep. That's it.
Are you
so I'm like,
sure?
I just don't want to do that now in like the marketing mode of, I was kind of tired. I'm tired of my last name.
Oh, damn. Are you?
But yeah, so I knew I was going to change it eventually, and I was like, well, I kind of got to go by if I'm going to be a singer-songwriter guy, I got to have a singer-songwriter name. And so I chose Asio because, one, it kind of sounded Italian-esque, Italian heritage. But also is a genus of owls, and I love owls. I don't know why, but I connect with owls for some reason.
Because they're awesome. They're like avian cats.
They are, and they're vicious. People think they're very wise and just very, very cool and calm. It's like, no, they're predators, yo. They'll still F you up.
Yeah, they will. That's kind of their thing. They're a bird of prey. Yeah. Did anybody see Guardians of Gahul? I mean, those fucking owls were like, ha ha ha, we kill all of the other owls. Sorry.
Exactly.
I dig the owl thing. We like owls too. Last year when we went camping, we heard owls, and that was the neatest thing ever.
Nice.
Not music related, but definitely peaceful.
Owls are they're so cool in so many ways.
So tell us.
This
genus of owl, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it small? Tell us some more owl facts.
Okay, more owl facts. Well, so it's a genus, not a species. So right. There's different owls within the genus. I think they're all primarily located in the UK. They're UK based, and they're kind of like the long-eared owls and the short-eared owls.
Aww.
And that's the two major ones, and I think the long-eared owls are known for having the biggest menacing eyes. And they're pretty dope looking. And their ears aren't really ears; they're like feathers.
Yeah.
But they call them ears because they're ears.
So this begs the next question. Will you, so from what I've seen so far of your online presence, it's been just your face. So are you going to focus around and have little owls as your art imagery? Because you should.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely, I'm brainstorming stuff for because I want the album to kind of have more of a theme across the board as far as imagery and themes like that go. And I'm building an owl costume. I'm getting a bunch of owls for my room. I'm actually going to... No, I'm kidding on all that stuff. That might be a little extreme. Maybe not the owl costume. Maybe I could work that out. That could be a good gimmick, I could get some eyes on me.
Like the owl and the pussycat. And he sings by the light of the moon. No one? I mean, that's a famous story.
I know it.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
Oh, come on. Go to the little library and look up The Owl and the Pussycat. They're dating each other, and he, like, sings to her underneath the light of the moon. And they're in, like, a little rowboat. So owls and guitars just go together.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I knew that all along. That's why I did it.
I know. Your mama didn't read to you, youngin'. You need some reading to, sir. But how long have you been playing guitar? And is it your first and only instrument? Or do you play other instruments too?
Yeah, the guitar, that started when I was like 14, but it was just, like, I didn't take it seriously. I went to the lessons, and I just wanted the teacher to tab out songs. But I didn't care about, like, scales or theory or anything that would actually make me a good guitar player. So that was, like, on and off. And then, actually, when the band started, like in, like, 2013, I was just a frontman singer guy trying to be Anthony Kiedis up there and realized I was surrounded by much, like, just these phenomenal musicians, and it was like they had a knowledge of music that I was nowhere near close to understanding. And I was like, ah, crap. Like, I want to take this seriously, and I don't want to be just the, frontman guy with this bunch of energy. Like, I actually want to be able to know what they're doing to write better melodies and stuff. So I was like, well, I'm not really going to pursue the acting thing anymore. I'm going to just up and roll in the music program at, my community college. And they said, well, you need a primary instrument. And I was like, okay, well, I own the guitar, I play the guitar, I like the guitar. And he was like, well, jazz or classical? I'm like, what?
Guitar.
So I picked classical and fell in love with that, and have been playing that kind of as like a side thing this entire time. And so then I got really more proficient on that. And then along with, majoring in music, you have to learn the keyboard, and that was also like, I took lessons as a kid, but took it way more seriously in school. Did some percussion stuff. So main instrument, guitar and vocals, and then I can get around with piano and percussion.
We have a question that came in the chat that says, ask him, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? It's an owl question.
They did a study on this. There's the owl answer, which is 3.
1, 2, 3.
And then that's the one I would go with, but I think like the scientific one was like 40,000 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, they made like a licking machine. They made like some like synthetic tongue thing that would just keep licking it. And they measured it. And, there were so many control factors and everything. And yeah. I'm sure Google had the answer.
Well, that in and of itself would be like, okay, how saliva-y, like, are you? That contributes to the amount of, lick going on. Wop. That's the answer. So, having this...
Aside from candy.
This be a brand new thing for you. You've already put together, you have a music video out. We played what you sent us on Tuesday. Tell us about what you have released, what people can hear from you. The music video, because that's cool. Talk about your shit.
All right. Oh, wait, so I can swear on this?
Yeah.
There's...
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Sorry. I thought you were just a polite old owl who was censoring himself.
Because, we'll probably get to this later, but, the Underbelly Hours was on the radio, and I would always have to censor myself. And there were so many times when, and then this stuff happened.
Yeah.
And, but anyway.
Yeah.
So I got stuff out now. I got an EP.
Yep.
It's the Jaded EP. It was 3 songs, just acoustic, with acoustic bass and cajon. And I wanted to get those out first because, I needed something out there, You can't just be a solo songwriter, and I'm not good enough to make it big on the Instagram cover scene.
Would you want to anyway, though?
No, not really.
Okay.
I kind of cringe every time those pop up. But I'm on that. Jaded EP is on Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, anywhere you stream music. Just 3 good, breezy acoustic tunes. And then I'm starting to put out some other songs that will be recorded soon. We did this cool virtual open mic thing that's on YouTube. If you just look up Cafe and Bar virtual open mic, I played a really cool song that I think it might be my best one yet. So there's some stuff on YouTube if you just look up Dan Asio. Oh, wait, and I got a whole live stream concert from this really cool thing that's happening out here in the Illinois burbs. There's this thing called The Bunker that y'all can check out on YouTube. It's this guy's awesome. His name's Fletch, and he is having all these great local singer-songwriters come into his studio and live stream from his basement studio a whole original music set. And so that's online. If you just look up Dan Asio on YouTube, that was a fun set. Because, you have people tune in live and they'll shout out, all the random nonsense they do. But yeah, and then a music video coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
The single Jaded, the title track. And that was a lot of fun. It gets goofy. I did it with this really popular local guy named Alex Zarek of Alex Zarek Art and Design, and he's done probably a million music videos for people in the local scene here and around Chicago. And the funny thing about that was I hit him up because my friend referenced me to him, and I was like, hey, can you do this? And also like a logo and maybe some pictures, and he gave me a really cool deal. But then I was like, would you be cool if this was really, really silly? Because a lot of the stuff he was doing with these like emo pop punk bands and these more like harder, edgier bands, and they were all just very like dark and ominous and serious and lighting flares and lens flares, and it's just like, grr, I'm angry. And I was like, that is not what I want at all, but it's great production value. And he was like, yeah, man, let's get as goofy as we can get. Because I love the goofy music videos. I don't like when bands try and take themselves too seriously. Like, I take the Foo Fighters mentality behind it, where it's like, this is a candy commercial. You should be joking about it the entire time. And so it's going to be this really goofy thing about how I'm just a jaded motherfucker.
I was going to ask the background of, the EP. Like, what was your muse, and, where is the content coming from?
Yeah, so it kind of came to me after the fact. Well, the Jaded song, the music has been there for quite a while. Like, my friends were like, hey, isn't that the progression you used to play, like, way back when? And I was like, yep, that's it. But then I never knew what to write for the lyrics until my supervisor at work called me jaded one time when I was making fun of I work at a college, and I was making fun of the kids that were in the area. And he called me, like, dude, you're so jaded. And I was like, yep, yes I am. And so he kind of inspired the song about, like, it's not jaded in a bad sense. It's not that I don't care. It's just I am sick of bullshit. I'm sick of, like, just people acting fake and people, like the performance art of social interactions. I'm just like, I see through you. I'm kind of done with this. And it could just be so much more fun if we all just, like, get over that. So there's, like, lines where, like, I don't care what I say anymore. I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to try and, like, listen to anything or censor myself. It's like, and then it kind of started really ringing true with just how tense everything is here in the world, how everyone's at each other's throats and everything's so, polarizing and partisan. And so that kind of, the next song fit that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Know Anything.
That's what we
It's
played.
about.
Yep.
Yeah. That one was just about, like, why are we shouting at each other across the internet?
Yeah.
We're not actually hearing each other, and we're just getting angry, and it's not a productive form of communication.
No.
And it's really, you're spouting shit that you don't know anything about, and then somebody comes in and spouts their shit that they don't know anything about. They want to think they know everything, but they don't. Because they're only usually, in the extreme cases, they're just hearing their side of what they want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
confirming their own biases, shouting that out to the other side that's already confirmed their own biases, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, can't we just talk?
No, because people don't know how to do that effectively, because we really haven't been taught how to do that effectively anymore. And we've substituted interaction with a screen as the platform, and because it desensitizes you to actually picking up on the social emotional connection of language, we're not able to effectively communicate. And so it's just juvenile emotions that have taken the wheel. That's how I perceive it, I guess. And that's what I picked up from just reading the lyrics. I was like, oh, damn. You is jaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I don't know how people aren't seeing this. They're just like falling into it so easily.
It's a shortcut
like,
to thinking.
What was that?
I said it's a shortcut to thinking. If I don't have to... It's easier to fight, it would seem, and put up an affront than it is to challenge yourself and change. Change is hard, and change is scary, and growth hurts. So how dare you make me try to do something that is uncomfortable? I'm mad about it. And that's why we're stuck where we're currently stuck. Which is dumb, because we're supposed to be lifelong learners, and nothing should be offensive, because you should always be on the quest for knowledge. And knowledge doesn't mean that it aligns with everything you believe in. That's why it's called knowledge. It's called learning for a reason, because you are extrapolating information from other sides. You are creating who you are based on all of the things that you pull in, not just the one thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And, I'm just hoping that people, something changes within the collective psyche that kind of promotes just better communication. And really that starts with empathy, It's kind of also because of all the screens, like you said, this, we've lost the consequence of hurting somebody's feelings because we're not doing it to them face to face. I kind of lost this empathy.
Go on.
Yeah, we just need to. Yeah, we need to realize that it's like we all want the same thing. We all want to be happy. We all want the people we love to be happy. We want, but we've lost that because we no longer empathize with each other because it's become so you against me, and if anything you say that goes against me, it's like. It's like that cheesy line from Revenge of the Sith. When Anakin says, it's like, oh, well, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but, okay. I get you, thanks, Anakin.
We've lost empathy because it's, because we don't like to say sorry, because that means that we have to acknowledge that we're not right. And that hurts, because now you've got one of two things that have to happen. Either you have, I'm sorry, to end it and be done because you want to just move on, or you're going to have a self-reflective moment where now you get to change as a person. And then it goes back to the change thing. Change is hard. Everything we do in life requires change. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where like the third song kind of came in, was it's called Come Alive, and it's just about needing that loving energy to get through it. Like the first chorus is all the while I'm still lost and vile, and my mind is a mess, basically, is what I'm saying. And I need the love, I need the compassion, I need the connection, the empathy to help me. And then it kind of it shifts to the character, and like the outro of the bridges is like, yes, I can now feel this, and I want to share this too. Because love and empathy is contagious. If somebody comes in with a smile and compliments you, it's a lot harder for you to be a dick to them. And if you are, then it's like you're really.
Then it's just your last name. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's just me, and it's like I get it. I understand. No offense taken. I'm a dick, and it's my birthright to be one. So I'm still going to say and greet you with a smile and love to the best of my abilities. I will fail at times too, but I think that's also just like as artists, that was kind of inspired me to kind of switch over to music, because I thought it was such a better way, at least for me, to connect with people and share that love and share that experience that I felt when I would see my favorite bands and musicians. It's just like when you're in a room, when we can be in a big room together, just that, like, there's no sides, there's nothing. We're all in there with all the love in the world, because we love this music and it's connecting with us. We're connecting with the musicians up there. They're connecting with us. Us in the crowd, we're all connecting with each other. And like that's what needs to happen in every other facet of life, is just connection. That, like, we're our neighbors. We're neighbors here.
So what you're saying is we need more music and art.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Do you feel like the COVID thing has kind of allowed for the arts to be stifled? I mean, you read everywhere, and especially locally here in Kenosha, like, we're a large music and art community, but every year they try hard to get rid of those programs because sports are more important. We need that. And it's not just Kenosha, it's other places as well. And I feel like COVID gave people the catalyst to push forward that kind of ideology. Do you feel similarly?
Well, it's yes and no. I don't know, there's a weird thing. I mean, in here, like, yeah, I share that same sentiment, and I feel that very strongly, because it always does seem, even growing up, it's like sports was the main thing. And, like, yes, sports are important. Physical activity and physical wellness is very important. Healthy body, healthy mind kind of thing. But also, again, healthy mind. You need to then practice the mind stuff, and a lot of that comes from art. And then you got to practice the heart. That comes from art, too. With COVID hitting, it was weird because everyone had so much time on their hands, so people were able to be more creative and appreciate the benefit of being creative yourself, even if maybe you weren't ever before. So you're able to get that new feeling. But and then also with live music going away, it's like you feel that loss even harder. You take it for granted that, like I was saying, getting into a room with each other and just connecting to the music. There's a huge void there. But then there was something happening in the local scene around here that I was picking up on. There's like people seem like this isn't the right time to be promoting music or making music, or there's bigger things happening, and I just don't think it's the right time to be making music or playing music. And I'm like, I definitely get what you're saying, but this is maybe the best time to be making music and getting it out there. I mean, in times of tragedy and hardship, music is really what helps people get through it. The art is really what helps people, they cling to the hope that music can do.
Yes, it's a universal language. It's the one thing that all of us can connect with, feel and experience together, and understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it breaks down so many barriers, of regular communication. Because, there are times where it's like, I don't even know what they're saying. Either they're singing in another language, or they're just, they're not enunciating enough for me to actually understand what they're saying. But still, the passion, the tone that's coming through, it's like you can tell if somebody's hurting right now, and you feel that hurt with them through the music. Or this is a song about love, and it's like, I should feel that love too. And usually I don't even know what they're saying until afterwards, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, I just looked at the chat too. Dustin, hey Dustin, how's it going?
He's in a band.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations! Awesome. Keep being in a band. Keep making music.
I
agree with you.
He's in a really cool band called Fall Risk, and they are a bunch of guys from all over the place that make their band work. He's in Minnesota. Another one's in Texas. Another one's in Las Vegas, and they make their band work. And they came and played in our basement last year.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. There's ways.
So
there's ways to work, and you need to make it work.
Do you feel? I feel like there's been a lot of that recently. That COVID has allowed for projects that wouldn't normally have happened to happen. There's a raccoon. Oh my gosh, sorry. We're in our basement and there was a raccoon peeking his head in our window. Hi, little trash panda. So I feel like a lot of projects that wouldn't happen happened because people have been able to send files and then record in their own spaces and then send it back to the person and have it all mixed together, which has been really neat.
Yeah, no, it's like a silver lining kind of to look at it, to be able to see that happening, being like, well, tragedy hit and it's still with us, but people are finding ways to really make the most of it and not let it really damage their endeavors or like you said, it creates new opportunities. We've never had to think like this before, but now we do, so let's see if this will work. Let's send each other the files and maybe jam together live through, let's beef up our internet and jam live through Skype or whatever. And there's been a lot of cool projects that I've even discovered that have come through that.
Have you, you've done the virtual open mics. Because where are you in Illinois?
I'm in good old Bible town, Wheaton.
Okay, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Actually, that was part of my Job Corps service area when I was a Job Corps career transition specialist. So I know where Wheaton is. But are you guys open? Are there shows happening? Do you have live music again?
In the suburbs, at least. I know it's stricter in Chicago, in the actual city limits. But out where I am in the burbs, just 40-ish minutes out, pretty much everything is, I mean, it's going to get different now with colder weather, but everything was going strong. Everyone was opening up tents and outdoor patios, and people were getting music out there in the outdoor spaces. And so that basically started in June when we opened up into phase 4, I think we called it, in Illinois, where restaurants could open to half capacity, and everything was pretty much like, yeah, we're good to go, just limit the people and wear the masks. And so, yeah, since then, like, some of my favorite people have been playing, like, all over, and they'll post pictures, and it's good. Like, there's distancing happening, masks are being worn, and they're getting out there and they're playing the music, and it's just so, like, I've been able to see a couple of them, and, yeah, and then the open mics also have been kind of slowly popping up, too. It's all outside, right down the mic.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you felt comfortable doing that. Like, are you out and about? Have you started playing out again?
Yeah, I played a couple sets. I played one at a coffee shop that was really nice. It was outdoors. It was sunny. It was nice and sunny, and it was distant, and I felt pretty good about that. And then we did another one at this cool burger joint in Wheaton, and that was like, yeah, if I know the place and I've been there before myself, I'm comfortable with the layout and everything. It's like I wasn't worried, especially as the numbers were going progressively downward in July and August. It seemed like, yeah, it could be done right. There was places I was seeing, though, that I was like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you had to be selective, and so it definitely limited the opportunities. So yeah, it was just a couple shows here and there, really.
What do you think's gonna happen come winter time?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of scared about. It'll be interesting because right now you can still have indoor stuff going on as long as it's still limited capacity and whatnot. But as far as like live music goes, like that just, it doesn't make sense for the business to be. I mean, unless the musicians are pretty much playing for dirt cheap or free, it's like I don't know how they'd be able to justify paying a musician to play 3 hours a night with only half the revenue coming in because the outdoor tables go away.
Right. Unless we get creative and we just agree, like, you're having a polar experience. Dress for the weather, and they set up little, like, I don't know, what are those? They have fire inside them? What would you call those? They're like high-end hobo fires, but for rich folk.
Yeah. Like space heaters?
There you go.
Yeah.
Hobo fires, I don't know.
Right. No, definitely, like, yeah, I know of one place that like does outdoor tent with space heaters. And I'm sure they'll do that again as winter hits. I think there'll be clever ways to be able to get around it. And also, thankfully, we're in the Midwest where people are very used to bitter, frigid cold. And I think they will kind of deal with it rather than just stay in all the time. It'll definitely die down. Business will slow down, and, the traffic of going to those places will slow down a bit. But, we're used to the cold up here in the Midwest. You guys, I'm sure you're even more north.
We're like not that far from you.
It's a cold swamp, though.
Yeah, but still, like...
It is a cold swamp.
Like, yeah. I mean, come January, we'll all be in the negatives again. It'll be like -5.
Why are you cursing us? What the fuck is this? We don't talk of it yet. No talking of this yet.
I know. I've been in denial for so long. Everyone's talking about pumpkin spice and all this stuff. I'm like, no, it's still summer. Shut up.
Actually, summer ended, my friend, a couple days ago, which I am happy about because I am that girl. I love pumpkins. Like, the ideal fall day is like a nice fuzzy hoodie, my jeans, crisp breeze, my pumpkin spice, and a clove cigarette. Like, ooh, I'm all fall.
See, that part sounds amazing.
Right?
I think where I get to be a little wuss about it is I just know that the winter is coming. And it's like, because, I don't know, it seems like around here, at least close to the city, it's like fall is here for maybe mid-October to the end of October, and then just winter hits, and it just gets really cold. And it never leaves.
You gotta look on the bright side of life, man. That's why I listen to ska music, because it's like the Caribbean in your house when it's snowing and negative 50 out. You're like, you know what? Outside is horrible, but I'm gonna dance and be happy about it right here.
Yeah. And my friends actually gave me shit about it, how much I was hating on the cold recently, and I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm being a bitch.
I mean, I don't like being cold. It is the worst thing in the world. I just feel angry, but that's why I do try to listen to more island music, because it makes my insides a little less angry.
Right. You know, you play more ska. I get more into the earthy jam bands, the hippie bands like that.
Because when you're high as fuck, you can't feel how cold it is. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So who are your influences? Like, what leads you to be who you are? Musically.
A lot. There's so much. I think people actually get surprised with just how much I listen to and how much actually influences just everything about me. Really, like, the only genre that hasn't really influenced me all that much is like screamo death metal stuff, where the melody isn't even there. It's just kind of like the guttural, harsh vocals.
Yeah.
But even then, I appreciate the instrumentality of the instrument part of it, the instrumental words. But yeah, I guess the big three, whenever everyone says, like, the top three. First one is probably obviously the Red Hot Chili Peppers, especially, obviously, if you've listened to my band, Tonic Freight Train. Don't know why, but in high school, I just stumbled across them, and ever since then, just something about the way they write music, the way they jam it out, the different vocal styles, I don't know, it got to me. So that's in my DNA. And then on the progressive rock side, Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree. I don't know if anyone's heard of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him, I just think he's a genius. Because he's so versatile in his songwriting. He just, he's also somebody who's influenced by so many different genres and likes to utilize all of it. And I think that's just what music should be. It's like, you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself into just one specific type of genre. You should be able to at least venture out a little bit, just to be able to synthesize and come up with new, cool ideas. It all comes through synthesizing different ideas of music. But then I'll have my grungier side. I love Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. Those have been some of my favorite vocalists is from the grunge scene. Just the range and the emotional rawness, the power behind it. That's been a huge influence on me. And then off to the side, in this little, niche cranny that I got is all the ska bands. Honestly, ska has been a huge influence in my life. I got, Streetlight Manifesto, Blessed and Jake, Real Big Fish, The Specials, The Toasters. I fell into a ska rabbit hole in high school.
As everybody should. Ska is wonderful. we need more ska during these times, I think, you know, because it was a genre specifically written to emancipate a whole fucking country and help them gain independence.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was able to... Yeah, it's all been just this unity aspect to it. You know, the scene of, you know, the black and white, it's like a yin and yang kind of thing. There's no... Like, the special, you know, that's what comes to mind first for me. I was able to actually catch the specials live one time. They came to Chicago.
We were there.
And it was just... Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't we talk about that on the Underbelly Hours?
I don't know if we talked about this, but it was at what was it? A fancy venue. It was after Riot Fest.
Yeah.
Yep, it was like a theater venue.
Yes. We were there.
Yeah, I was there. I was up in the higher balcony part.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, just seeing them, like, yeah, it was so cool. There was, like, the guitar kept spitting in the air, and I was like, I had no idea how he could keep spitting that far into the air.
Because he's angry. He's like the angriest ska dude ever.
Yeah. The singer always looked, like, jaded a bit.
He is?
He was just... And then, there was one point where, like, the guitarist and the other guitarist, they, like, just go up to each other and kiss each other.
Linville Goldstein. Like, so Linville Golding was on our show. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, so him and Adam Flymo Birch, so two, like, members of the Specials, were on our show a couple months back. They're doing, like I said, that cool collab stuff. They're doing that. So Linville talked to us about the new Specials album that was released, and Adam talked to us about his new project, and it was like, so cool. That was very neat.
That is amazing. I gotta go back and check that out.
It's available on the Tubes of You.
Perfect. Yeah, so ska has just been huge. Everyone needs to listen to more ska.
Agreed. So what are your goals with what you're doing currently? You have this EP that's now out. What does the future look like for you? Near
short-term future, working on a full album. It won't be acoustic. I mean, there'll be like maybe an acoustic song on there that's just acoustic, but it'll be like a full band type sound. And then, keep going with this. Hopefully continue with the band. Pick that up again, maybe when things get a little bit more normal a bit. But yeah, really just, music's always been just so important in my life, and ever since I started performing it and writing it, I just felt like this is what I need to do all the time. I don't even care if I don't get anywhere. Like, yeah, I'm dreaming big with everything and with the Underbelly Hours and stuff. Like, you want to reach as many people as possible, but it's just, first and foremost, that connection with people, just sharing a part of you with people and hope it connects with a part of them. That kind of thing is just so valuable, and just, you can't find it anywhere else. No material thing can bring it for you. It's really just that human connection. And so, yeah, my goal is just to keep pursuing the music thing and try and have that experience with as many people as possible.
So
until I die.
So how did you record everything yourself for this EP? How did it come about? Like, or did you go someplace and have it recorded? Like, what was that process?
Yeah, so I wrote, like, all the parts, pretty much. And then I went to track it with a good friend, Mirabelle Skipworth, who's also in the scene. And she's getting more into the production side of things and event planning, booking type of thing. And I reached out to her and was like, hey, I want to try and do the solo thing. And she was super helpful and basically just gave me like, because she was one of the solo people I kind of looked up to. I was like, you've been doing this for a long time and kicking ass. How do I do this? And so we were like, let's record this together. I recorded the guitar, acoustic bass on 2 of the tracks. I had a friend who meant to record the other one because he helped kind of write it. Even though it's a solo project, I always love to collaborate still. And I also had another friend come in to play the cajon because, I still think that collaboration is very important in the music making process, even if it's just you that's writing the meat of the song. Getting other flares and other influences involved, I think, is always really fun and exciting.
Neat. So, as far as your goal of completing and recording a full length, did you give a timeline? Can people expect that? How much is it done, or is it just like that's a goal?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's like I'm shopping the studios. I got 2 that I'm like, these 2 are probably gonna be the ones I go with, and like all the songs are written, all the parts are pretty much written, except for maybe some like drum parts that I'll just get a drummer to be like, hey, do what fits right here, what you think. So, pre-production is pretty much done. Now I just got to record the damn thing. So hopefully something early next year, like earlier next year, if everything goes great and these guys still have their studios open to record.
So our friend Chad keeps messaging, where can we find his music? Drop some links. How about we hear a sample of one of his songs? Hang tight, because in a few minutes you're going to get to actually listen to him play. Dan, do you want to give us and the listeners, viewers, a rundown of what they can expect the second half of this evening? Get your smoking jackets ready.
Yeah, so this is actually this is a cool thing because originally I wasn't able to perform live and I was just going to send you some tracks. But a couple of friends in the city who have their own band, the Footlight District, they're a cool bluesy rock band. They are having this little private open mic thing just with some friends of the local scene. And I was like, oh shit. That's happening around the time of this interview. Would I be able to kind of hop in, like, right at the end of my interview and play my little open mic set for y'all and stream it? So, I'm going to be playing a few songs from my friend's backyard in the city. And they have this cool little light stage little setup in the backyard, and it's going to be a cool thing.
Neat.
And if you can't stick with that, all my stuff is found under Dan Asio, ASIO, and Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all the streaming platforms.
Oh, you used a distributor. Did you learn nothing last month?
I know.
I am offended. Oh, just kidding. I mean, a little bit, but you'll learn.
I know, I'll learn. I fell into old habits.
Okay, sure, all right.
Every
day's an opportunity for change. We'll just put it as that. It's a learning experience, growth and change. I have to be patient that not everybody is willing to be a pupil and accept that we need really a musicians union, damn it. A musicians union where we all run the business ourselves.
Yes. Please forgive me, I'm still learning.
So what evil distributor did you go with? CD Baby, DistroKid, Orchard Music, TuneCore?
I don't know, I feel like I'll get shit for whatever one I pick.
I asked for a reason, go ahead.
Alright, I went with DistroKid. After looking at all the other services, I was like, just for right now, this is... it just seemed like the most cost-effective for me and the least shitty as far as like other little fees that will pop up later.
With your little package dealio, did you get any actual printings of your EP? Like, can people get a CD?
No, I decided to just keep the first EP digital only, just because of COVID stuff happening. Even with the live events I did, I didn't know other people's comfortability and how hard it would be to convince somebody to take a physical disc of just 3 songs. So I was like, yeah, given the time, I'll throw this one up there and then do the full package release for the full-length album.
Gotcha. How about merchandise? Besides music, do you have any t-shirts, buttons, or other cool swag? Or is that like a future goal?
Yeah, it's going to be a little future thing. I was kind of putting all my eggs into the EP and the music video and promoting all that stuff. That and I also kind of I'm thinking, like, who the hell am I? Who would like want to buy shit with my name on it without even knowing who I am or having any music out there or whatever? So I was like, let me get some music out there. Let me get some people who actually dig it, give me some feedback if they actually enjoy it, get some interest going, and then be like, oh, okay, all right.
How has the feedback been, Dan?
A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Do you need to do mirror time? This is kind of starting to sound a little self-deprecating.
No. I mean, I was proud of the songs. I always loved playing them in my room. I was like, yeah, I still don't get sick of practicing. I love them. So I dig them, and I hope other people do. But I was like, this might not be everybody's cup of tea. And then I put it out there, and a lot of people who know me from Tonic Freight Train were like, oh yeah, no, you got some solid songs here. Like, I'm jamming to this. And then other people who, like, even close friends who are usually super critical of shit, for a, productive, constructive criticism, but they'll always pick out, like, yeah, need to work on that. They even came back and was like, yeah, dude, you got some good stuff here. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Oh shit.
That's wonderful.
So I was really happy. It was just even more motivating to get the full band sound out there with the full-length album, because I've always imagined these songs even bigger than just acoustic coffee tunes.
Well, I'm excited to continue to watch your growth as a musician and see where it does go with that full length. And I hope that when that's done, you will send it our way, or at least post it so that we know about it on our page. Go on.
I was just going to say, like, yeah, I'd love to, we could do a trade-off where, you guys come back on the Underbelly Hours, we shoot the shit about local music, and then I come back around a couple months later and shamelessly plug my own shit.
I mean, that sounds like a really good... Maybe at that point you can actually come to the basement, because, I mean, at this point, I'm starting to, like, question when we open up safely again, because... I don't know. I miss having people come to my basement, and I miss having that live show feel. And
same.
I don't know how terribly afraid I am of this anymore. I feel as if time has gone on, I've become more desensitized, and I'm like, at this point, we're 6 months in, right? 7 months in. We have to have come in contact with it at some point, statistically speaking, right? Like,
yeah,
we all, like, the world didn't stop. That safer at home thing was more of like a suggestion. It wasn't like it was strictly enforced. And we did lock down. We didn't go anywhere. We like Kif was our designated go to the grocery store. But come May, it was like, all right, we're gonna we're still going to be safe. We're still going to distance, but we started ourselves to open back up more. And now it's kind of like, well, if the people we know, I know where they are and I know where we've been, that's kind of like the conversation you have with someone before sex, right? Get tested, know your number, you know, that sort of thing. So,
yeah, no, that's the same over here too, where it's like, you know, our inner circles are like, we know we're not being stupid, we're not going to these huge ragers, we trust each other, the fear isn't really, you know, that intense. It seems like, you know, I don't know, I'm knock on wood, it seems like the brunt of it is kind of over with. I mean, the second wave is still very much a possibility, but it seems like we've got a handle on it at least now. For small, like to do the live stuff, you know, have a live show in a basement, just like, you know, because I'm thinking about the Underbelly Hours too. We're looking to get back into, you know, a studio again, get the bands in there.
Yeah.
You know, tuning in Tuesday night to your guys' preview, and you guys mentioned, you know, you're experiencing a little bit of burnout, and I was like, I feel that so much. Like, that, because it's hard to do it just over Zoom or over the phone, or just like that in-person energy and connection is so important. And yeah, running on fumes a bit.
I'm sick of being afraid of people that I feel I can trust. I don't know, like before COVID even, we ran a risk inviting strangers into our house every week. I mean, legit, we're opening ourselves up to who knows what weirdos could come to our home, you know? So if we survived that,
for years.
For years now. Holy shit, this show's been in production 3 years. I feel like we would be safe to, you know, it is distant. Like, you're on one side of the basement, we're on the other. And that, you're right, that connection is way different. Like, even over this phone call, and, you know, when we did the Zoom thing, it's like, I see you, but, like, I don't feel like we can share energy, if that makes sense. Like, there has to be a shared energy that helps contribute to the emotion of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, it's so weird because, yeah, with connection over the internet, you'll want to butt in just for a little comment, but it sounds like, oh, they have this whole thing to say, and it's like, no, I was just agreeing. That's happened so many times on the Underbelly Hours. It's like, oh, and then it creates this awkward back and forth of, no, you go. No, you go. No, I was just agreeing. And I was like, oh, okay. Because that shit doesn't happen in person when it's like you can see their face and you kind of know their intention of, like, oh, yeah, no, they were just going along with it, or like, oh, no, they want to jump in. They got something to say.
Right. I hope that we're able to do that come the new year. You know, I think that's probably what our goal is going to be. But I think people in general are kind of still hesitant, which is fine. I'm not going to push anything.
Yeah.
But we have, you know, we got friends from all over the place that are like, when can we come back to your house?
Yeah.
So I'm starting to feel like 2021, we just, at this point, if a meteorite doesn't come and crash into us, Godzilla doesn't appear from the ocean, and aliens haven't come, by 2021 we should start doing music just to help level the playing field.
Yeah. Might as well at this point, right?
Right. Well, Dan, we have reached the top of the hour. Real quick, again, because a few people have asked, where? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Give people some information as to where they can find you, and then we'll let you go so that you can get set up to do the second portion of this.
For sure. Yeah, so I'm under Dan Asio Music DAN space ASIO space music on Facebook and Instagram and Bandcamp and, all the streaming services. So I'm active on Facebook and Instagram. I try to avoid Twitter because it's a scary place filled with just hate. It's a dumpster fire. And it's kind of weird to promote music on Twitter. At least I've never figured it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, really just Facebook and Instagram are the main ones. And then I'm working on a website. But if you want to find me and connect with me, just hit up my pages, smash that like button. Oh, and YouTube. YouTube under Dan. We got YouTube. Shit. That's where you're going to find my music video that comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow! Yeah, I'm trying to get better at this whole plugging myself thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nazi Music, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please subscribe and send a message. I'd love to chat and share my music with you.
Well, thank you, Dan, so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. This has been a blast. This is so much fun.
Great. I hope to meet you in person someday, but we're going to let you go so you can get set up, and then we'll watch the second half with you.
Perfect. Yep, it'll just be a couple minutes.
All right. We will see you.
Awesome.
We'll see you virtually in a few.
Sounds great.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Bye.
That was Dan Asio?
Asio.
Asio. Like cheese.
Dan Owl.
Dan Owl. Cheesy Owls. ASIO. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. His new video for the EP Jaded comes out tomorrow. And if you want to watch him perform...
You have to go to the event.
The event.
It's not just going to be here.
It is going to be here.
But it is here.
It's going to be shared, though, here.
You know what I mean.
But go... Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm going to interrupt Kif all the time because my name is Jess and I guessed my prizes right the first time. We're going to turn this off. I will share once he goes live. But if you want to pay attention, the event page is where you can find him. All you're going to do is go to the event, click discussion, and it should be there. Questions, comments, concerns, or ponderings, feel free to shoot us a message. Thanks so much for watching, and we will catch you next week, which, holy shit, is October. And on the anniversary of our 3rd year going live, we have a band from the UK joining us. Scapones, who have opened up for the specials, will be joining us. So, check you later, dudes, okay?
Thanks.
Bye!